Uyazing Betty Mali Saso Figa Gada Baby Unga Hambi.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Nothing But Football. If you noticed, there was an issue last week with an uploading of a video. It's because there wasn't one. There were technical issues. I think something burnt. So
the football gods didn't want me to stunt on you all for my FPL weekend.
No, they were actually saving us because we would have talked smack last week. And then we couldn't be able to grasp the blessings of this week.
Wow, I hear you.
The blessings that the Arsenal supporters finally had.
Hey.
But yes, guys, let me introduce you to the co-hosts. On my right here, I've got Mr. Locosa, Uncle Kosa, King Don. How are you, King Don?
Hey, I'm all right. I've had better weeks. Back down to earth.
Yes. Back down to
Ronaldo
earth.
fever gone.
Nah. Ronaldo fever's still there, but expectations is back down to earth.
Now you've got that CDM fever, dog. Remember when I was saying that and I sounded ridiculous.
Yes.
But yes. And then on my far right, I've got Uncle Curtis. How are you, brother?
It's good, man. I didn't watch Arsenal again. I think I must continue not watching them so we can win some more games. I'm going to be out on the streets busy partying when Arsenal plays because it seems like we score when I'm out there having the time of my life.
Real fans.
No, man. So yeah, I watched that game actually at home. It was a good game, but we'll get into that when we get there. So I don't know, where should we start since we missed out last week? I'm not really going to.
Let's start with that legitimate goal at Aston Villa.
No. I was trying to think, should we start with game week 4 or should we just move on to game week 5?
Let's just move on.
But I think we should move on to game week 5 because from a game week 4 perspective, if I'm looking at the fixtures, I'm not going to really touch on much. It was you guys beating Aston Villa. Manchester United they beat Aston Villa 2-1. Mark Noble missing the penalty at the end.
West Ham, yeah.
Yes. Chelsea won 3-0 against Spurs. Sucks to be them. Brighton actually took a game 2-1 against Leicester. So those were actually the highlight fixtures. Well, Liverpool gave Crystal Palace 3-0. That's not really a surprise. Arsenal won against Burnley. I think that was our second win of the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to now touch on to get the game week 5 episodes. Not the episodes, man. Ugh.
The results.
Tongue tied.
6.
The results.
You mean 6? This current weekend's on 6.
Is it 6? Yeah. Well, you'll read the title, and then if it's whatever I say, just believe, yes, as you say. So let's start. I think this was kind of the game of the day. The Saturday, 25th of September. It was Chelsea versus Manchester City.
Hey.
Obviously, replay of the Champions League. The two teams touted to be the challengers. This was quite a big game. And that ended up 1-0 in the City's favor. City were away, obviously. And that was a goal from Gabriel Jesus. Angulukusa, let's start with you. Let's talk about that game. Unpack it for me, man.
Pep. Well done, Pep. Reminding these young boys that you might be good, but you're coming here to the master, So from the game was good to watch. From a City perspective, I was impressed. In the recent meetings, Chelsea had been beating them, under Tuchel. Champions League Final, and I think they beat them in the league. And that's so good for Pep to get one over from him again against still the best team in the land. Most of the trophies have been theirs. So good performance from Chelsea. It's a defeat that'll hurt. Obviously losing to one of your main rivals in that. But I think they played decently. I saw them getting trashed online. But I think they did all right. It's City, right? It's City.
Yeah.
City can give anyone hands.
No, fair point. Uncle Curtis.
Can't believe
Your theory still stands.
And I can't believe Lucas said it was a good game to watch. Oh man, those Chelsea Man City games are boring. I haven't watched one entertaining game. Not one. It's always a tactical thing. Who wants to watch tactical battles? Go play Battleship, my boy. Go play Battleship over there since you want to play these tactical things. There's no exciting football there. Again, it's just ball in the middle of the park, trying to find space, go wide, what. Theory still stands. Why did Chelsea buy Lukaku? Because he had one good season in Italy.
Ooh,
Or two. Okay, no, not two, but Italy is his league. The Premier League is not going to score against the top 6 tie. He's not anymore. It's done for. That's what? 3 games against top opposition?
2.
No.
It's City. It's Liverpool.
Chelsea.
Who else? Oh, we're not a top team.
Yeah, he
City.
plays for Chelsea. So he's played against Liverpool and against
City and Spurs.
You calling Spurs top 6?
Aren't they touching your top 16?
Hey?
He's never scored against the top
That's
6.
traditional. When you were scoring against Arsenal, they said you can't count Arsenal anymore.
Yeah, but I'm saying Arsenal is not a top 16. But I'm just
Neither
saying,
Spurs is what I'm saying.
how are they not a top 16? They finished in the top 6 last season.
Hey, this guy decides when to praise the Spurs team.
I'm not saying they're a good top 6 team, but Arsenal were without their best players. But again, it's 3 games, no goals. Teams. In fact, that was his gift against Arsenal. He'll never score another goal against Arsenal. I pray that we don't get Gabriel injured when he comes back, but he won't score. But we'll see how it goes. He should have stayed in Italy with Inter Milan. That's how I feel about it. I have nothing to say about the game. Boring.
From my point of view, I actually was, I won't use the word disgusted, but I was displeased with the way Chelsea played. They tried to do this thing. Like I actually saw it like while I was watching. They were actually trying to agitate some of the players. I saw a lot of instances where Jack Grealish was, after the tackle, you just give an extra push to just try aggravate him, get in his mind. Yeah. I saw it happening to Raheem Sterling. So basically the main creators were they tried to get in their heads. And that's not really how Chelsea plays. Chelsea normally tries to play by, being the master tactician.
What they have Rudiger made.
No, with this new tactic that Thomas Tuchel brings. But I feel as though, they overthought this game. They didn't have to do a lot of the things that I saw. Like it was weird. I get it, but I don't know. That's the one thing that turned me off about that game. That Chelsea did. That I felt like, after watching that, I was like, nah, you guys deserve to lose because you tried to play those underhanded tactics. Yeah. But other than that, City did what City does. It wasn't really much of a shooting, exhibition. It was more, of a passing exhibition. I mean, City had 781 compared to Chelsea's 594. That's big numbers, considering that there's 2 teams. Normally, if City's playing, they'd have high numbers, the other team would have low. Yeah. But
but shout out to Pep. I think tactically, wow.
No, he chowed them. Sorry, those were, because I was naming touches and not passes. But either way, passes were still quite high, 599 compared to 413. Yeah, but it was 2 tacticians. So what can we say?
Because even the goal, man, it had a bit of luck to it. So even when you call it a Pep masterclass, it's Pep masterclass with luck. Yeah. I can't remember any other clear chances that if it wasn't for that deflection, it ends 0-0. So I'm not going to call it a masterclass.
Yeah, I didn't call it a masterclass. I just think tactically it did so well. Chelsea's normally pressing the life out of everyone. Pep put so many players up front to go and get the ball back. I just thought that was good to watch. And to beat Chelsea under Tuchel is no mean feat right now. Yeah, but not a masterclass. But
either way, as I say, you know how I feel about that football, guys. If you're going to be pressing 24/7, dog, might as well just bring out my juicer and make myself some juice, some freshly pressed juice. I'm not watching that game.
Because I saw even in that game, Loftus-Cheek made an appearance. Actually, when he did come on, he made quite a bit of a difference because they went with the Jorginho, Kovacic, and Kante back 3. Not back 3, middle 3. And then he kind of brought some life into that game. So I think,
And one other thing that I want to say, I want to see how Chelsea are going to react when they go 1-0 down against teams. I don't think Though, if they go 1-0 down against a team, I don't think they'll overcome most of those teams. That's how I genuinely feel, because I do not see them scoring a lot of goals, putting the team under constant pressure with direct shots and stuff like that. So if they go 1-0 down,
but you have to get them there.
yeah, you have to get them there. But
that's the hard part, is getting them there. Yeah, I think we can just move on. Wait, I guess, to the surprise game of the weekend. Not really. One of two of surprise games. Manchester United went up against Aston Villa at Old Trafford. That ended up being 1-0 to Aston Villa. Goal from Courtney House. That's, yeah.
How did Watkins play?
Normally a substitute defender, Watkins.
Yeah, he wasn't. There was no Danny Ings, or was he there? So how did Ollie Watkins play?
Ings was there. I think Ings started and came off.
Okay, so how did that Ollie Watkins play? The person that they said will be a star at Arsenal.
Ollie Watkins played off the left. Aston Villa was good.
He had a lot of opportunities.
He played well.
He had a lot of opportunities, but missed a lot as well.
But I'm gonna go in on your boys' favorites.
I don't think there were good opportunities to miss. I don't think the scoreline should have been different.
The good opportunities missed was by Greenwood over there. By Greenwood,
Actually,
not knowing how to pass.
I need to start with Uncle Locosa. Let me know, how do you feel about your team's performance?
This game was surprising yet unsurprising, right? So this game would give you a feeling that you got last season, or watching some games where you're like, do something, right? So performance wise wasn't great. I think Aston Villa had the better of the play. I'm not sure how the stats look or whatever, but from watching it, when Aston Villa had a chance, you held your breath a little bit. When United was creating a chance, you're like, you know. So from that perspective, and I mean, look, it's still an unlucky loss. That goal in itself is from a set piece, kind of simple. Yeah, those goals will be given. Those goals will be given. So I won't fight the goal, but United should have done better. It's a loss at home again.
Exactly. Yeah, but you guys have a great away run. So, you're what?
28 or 29 games unbeaten.
Like something ridiculous like that. Uncle Curtis, your views on that game?
I think United had the better chances, but Greenwood was selfish. There was, in the first half, dribble, Bruno Fernandes alone in the penalty box. A man, instead of laying it off, decides to shoot. Second half, he dribbled himself out of an opportunity when Ronaldo was on the overlap. In the box. On the overlap, in the box. He passes both times, that's 2 goals. Bruno would put that away. Ronaldo would put that away. It was Greenwood's fault that they lost that game. Because he kept on head down, not looking. Sometimes you don't have to be the star, man. Let Ronaldo be the star. Learn from Ronaldo. It's unfortunate that they lost, but I'm happy that they lost. Otherwise, the egos would be inflated for another week, and I can't stand that.
Yes.
Because now we're back to Ollie out.
I won't lie. No, it was quite peaceful this weekend, actually.
It was quite peaceful.
It was very peaceful. I enjoyed not having to argue with people about, why do I support Arsenal? Why do you do this to yourself? So yes.
It's a good weekend when you don't hear from Pala.
United loss bring so much joy to the world?
It doesn't bring joy. It brings peace.
It brings peace.
It brings peace.
Because when you guys win,
when you guys win, you have loud mouths. All of a sudden, it's, hey, Joe, how's your team doing? And it's like, mate, I don't watch Arsenal. Why are you talking to me about football?
I think, let me give a summary of what I thought of this game. Besides what you pointed out, the fact that Mason Greenwood seemed like, he was in the mood to score and he didn't care what anyone else thought. He was taking the shots.
I like that. I hope he does it again next weekend, because he will score more he'll have more good games like this than bad games.
No, you'll have more bad games like that than good.
I don't even think that was a bad game. I think he played well.
To tell you the truth, I don't think it was a bad game. I just think if you lose these games, they're going to look back and assess these moments.
Okay, I get.
Yeah.
What you guys are saying. It's-
But to Greenwood, I hope he plays exactly the same way next weekend.
not
the fans will
sure,
turn. They'll turn it against him real quick
Why will they turn on him? Well,
because he's costing you games now.
that's your opinion. I don't think he cost us that game at all. I
So if
think he's a striker. That because if you go back to when was Ronaldo's debut game? Ronaldo has a chance where he's 1-on-1, can pass to Greenwood for an empty net. Doesn't. It gets another chance and scores.
But you see, look at the difference
No, I see.
in quality of player there.
19 and 36.
Yeah, but I'm saying look at the difference in quality of play over there.
Yeah.
A proven goal scorer since 22 versus an unproven goal scorer. He's earned the right to do that.
Yeah. No. 100%.
Greenwood hasn't done anything to prove that I can do that.
100%. But I think for the quality of player that I think I'm seeing every week, dude, put your head down, play the same way every week.
I hear you, man. I'm just trying to bring it back to what when Roy Keane and them were playing with Ronaldo, and they told him just pass the flipping ball from time to time.
Truth, Ruud van Nistelrooy got sold for telling him that.
Yeah, he got sold, but I'm saying the other players will tell him just pass the ball, and he learned to be less selfish in positions that don't make sense. The Ronaldo chance is the one that didn't make sense. That man is on the edge of the box, just up and down. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but other than that, it's a shame that you guys didn't win. You actually were in this game, but chances weren't taken, and we've seen this happen many a time before against many small teams. If you don't take those chances, they'll just get one and they'll capitalize on it. They'll finish you that way. But yeah, the other thing I actually wanted to ask you, I know your answer, but I still want to hear why.
Sure.
The penalty, do you think it should have been taken by Bruno? Or considering the fact that even at national level, Ronaldo's the one who takes the penalties, should he have taken it? Or do you think Ole was right in just saying, hey?
I think either one of them taking it is okay. Because Bruno has had however many penalties for United, he's only missed one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even this has a lot, his record is still about 90%.
93%.
He'd missed a couple already.
But he's at 93%.
Nah, he's missed one.
93%.
No, he's missed a lot. He's missed about season wise, because it's so memorable when it happens. I think he's probably missed about 3, counting this one, 3 or 4.
Look, we'll have a check on it. I can only remember him missing one.
Yeah.
But anyway, the other option is the guy that scored the most penalties in football history, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it was a tough decision. I looked at this and I was like, when some people were blaming Ole, I was like, listen, you don't mess around with your roster, because it's gonna also affect Bruno's confidence.
Left or right, the thing is, those boys can take penalties. So it's unfortunate. Even the best penalty taker will miss.
But
Ronaldo's
there was word that Emi Martinez apparently told Bruno Fernandes, "Hey, bruh, you ain't shit, basically. Let that guy take it. You, why are you here, basically?"
I'm sure.
Yes, so I think
I'm sure, because he's quite good with penalties, and
Yes,
those
to
Argentinians
save.
were talking crap every time.
even at Copa America, he was talking smack. So I think he spoke a lot of smack to
They were
Bruno.
telling the Colombian guy, dance now.
Yes. Yeah, man. But other than that, I find it to be an unfortunate loss for Man United. It could have gone either way. Although Aston Villa were ready for you guys.
Yeah, but you're looking up and it's Chelsea versus Man City. That's the time to get points. That's not the time to drop points.
Yeah,
Those two
absolutely.
drew and they still move further away from you. Look, it's early, but those kind of things are stupid.
Speaking of draws, Brentford plays against Liverpool at the Brentford Community Stadium. And that game actually was quite tight. It went to 3-3. 3-3 Liverpool, 3 Brentford. I don't know why I explained that, but nonetheless. Goals from, we're going to learn some new names. Ethan Pinnock, Vitale Janelt, and Yune Vissa. And obviously from Liverpool side, it's Diogo Jota, Curtis Jones and Mohamed Salah. Uncle Curtis, what does this mean for Liverpool?
Nothing, man. Brentford is the tough team that came up from promotion this season. It's the truth. I think they're going to stay up. And, you know, when we lost against them, everybody was saying, yeah, Arsenal's weak. Went to Liverpool, came to play them, same stadium, and now it's 3-3. And none of the goals that Brentford scored this time were contentious. So it looks like Brentford will put in a shift. Ivan Toney with an assist are gonna fight. What was I saying? It's a strong Liverpool team, man. We can't underestimate how strong Liverpool is this season. Up until this past weekend, Liverpool and Chelsea had an identical record in terms of games won, goals scored, goals conceded. Liverpool just drew 1 point further. So in the long run, if Chelsea don't get a result against Brentford...
Hold on. Oh, sure. No, I was thinking in my head about the table to see who's on top.
Oh, it might have been Brighton, but it's...
No, I just remembered now. If Brighton had won, they were going on top.
Yeah.
If
But
Brighton
they,
won,
yes, but they drew.
Yeah. So if Chelsea don't get a result against Brentford, that's 1 point advantage for what you call this team, Liverpool, over the season. So top three could be Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. It all depends on how they go in the Champions League. That's my bet for top three, because depending who you play in the weekend after a tough Champions League fixture will give the other team impetus and stuff like that. Yeah, but that's all. That's how I feel about it. We shall see. And you know Chelsea's not scored a lot of goals, so I'm not worried about them either.
Interesting. Uncle Lugosa, he's spoken about Brighton now. From a Liverpool point of view, debuting their new shitty kit and drawing against Brighton. What does this mean for them?
Brentford.
Sorry.
So it's not that bad of a result. I mean, you've gone away from home. You've picked up a result too. Newly promoted teams in the start of... You generally get one that's good at the start of the season and one that's good at the end of the season. So Brighton looks like the guys that have started well. I didn't watch this game, but I've seen a couple of the games. I can imagine it was high energy, lots of runs, you know, that kind of thing. So that's a game you sort of just want to come out unscathed. It's like a Leeds game. It's like
How many points have Brentford got there? Sorry, Lucas, for interrupting.
Let me just check. Sorry. I think Brentford probably have... They're ninth. They're actually ahead of us with 9 points.
With 9 points.
We're tied with them.
Okay, cool.
What's that? 3 draws and a win?
2 wins
And 3 draws.
2 and 3 draws. Yeah. So I think a decent result for Liverpool. Looking at the benefits of it, Mohamed Salah again. One day we need to have a chat about that, man. People must put respect on that guy's name, Joe. What does that guy have to do to be considered top? But goals for him, goals for Jota. Obviously conceded some goals, but I think depending on what their next fixtures are, if they still have a good run of games, they'll be all right for this.
In my eyes, never.
Never Mo Salah.
Elite level, never.
What would he have to do to make elite level? Because he probably scores like the elite level guys, doesn't he?
I think he just plays against easier defenders.
Yeah. So he must be born in a different year.
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunate. He failed under Mourinho twice. So unfortunate.
As a child.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as a child.
No. Looking at this, I agree with you. Brentford, I think, is going to be fighting. They're going to be one of those teams. We're starting to see a pattern now with all these teams coming up from the championship. They play very high intensity, which was not actually the case for, lower-ranked sides. It seems as though they do take their fitness very seriously.
Yeah. Because,
I mean, if you look back at the years, well, I guess it was the days of, the Tony Pulis's and all that.
Yeah.
The smaller teams used to get, thrown around and get beaten in the alleys.
But this is the influence of foreign managers.
Yes.
100%.
100. Yes. I was just about to say that there's actually quite a lot of foreign managers down there doing an excellent job.
Yeah. Because you can't really, I mean, you don't have the budget or whatever. You can't go up and match their budgets.
Yeah.
To have the talents or whatever.
You need to make sure that who you have,
Exactly.
like,
Will
run their lungs out.
And the game is tactical nowadays.
But you know, even when you say you can't match their budgets, nah, I also believe English managers were just terrible because teams like Brighton are able to outspend Inter Milan for certain players. Let me not say Brighton, but a top 10 team like West Ham is able to outspend Inter Milan. So at a certain point, if we're looking at players who are becoming money hungry, the top 10 in England should have better quality players than some of the top teams in other leagues.
You think the top 10, don't they?
Some do, but I'm just saying, like, in general.
I mean, Everton's in the top 10 and they're probably 8th. Like, the top 10 has quality.
That's quality. I'm just saying better quality than the top 3 in what you call this thing.
Oh, okay, that's ambitious.
They should, with the money that they're throwing at these players.
Sure.
They should. I'm not saying as the league champions, like, or Juventus or something like that, nah? But they should be in and around there with the type of money they're throwing at these players. Stop spending money on Michael Antonio and get you a better striker, man.
I hear you.
Interesting. Speaking of Michael Antonio, let's move on to the Leeds versus West Ham game. Hey. Obviously, now that West Ham is become the new unofficial top 6 team, we have to give them their credit that they deserve and talk about them. Yeah. They went up against Leeds at the Elland Road Stadium. Then they won that 2-1. Obviously, own goal from Junior Firpo and a goal from Michael Antonio in the 19th. And then Rafinha scored for Leeds. Always seems to be featuring these days.
One more season, top 6 club.
You think so?
Rafinha, the way he's been playing. One more good season like this, top 4 club easily.
I'd say that
he comes from like Valencia or some, or PSG or
Sporting Lisbon.
Lisbon. So he's quality already. So one more good season like this, with the high intensity play of the Leeds team. He's scoring goals. He's creating. What more do you need from a player?
Yeah, I get it, but I'd probably say stay 2 seasons and find your feet, because this is officially his first season, because he was signed last season in the January transfer window, and then it took time to kind of integrate him in.
But once he was integrated,
once he's integrated, you can clearly see his quality.
So I wouldn't say this season. One more full season next season.
Yeah,
if he's doing this again, that boy is gone.
Agreed. But speaking of another player who's having a fantastic season, Michael Antonio got a red card last 2 games ago. And he's back like he's never left. How do you take this? Like, for him, do you think he's gonna be a challenge for Golden Boot, or is just Michael Antonio doing Michael Antonio?
You're being ambitious over there with that Golden Boot.
Not for Golden Boot, but for him, he's doing fantastically. I mean, he only became a striker like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
He was a winger for like Reading. Most of his career is in the Championship.
Yeah.
And whatever. So him as a player has been doing well. The Premier League suits him. There's a physical element to the Premier League. He can handle it physically. He can run too. He can run the channels. He can hold the ball out wide. He's turned into a good, competent Premier League striker, which is I think fantastic for him. Remember the last time we were saying he's now West Ham's record scorer in the Premier League. Yeah, for Premier League goals. And I was fighting you guys on that. You guys are right.
It didn't sound right considering the strikers that West Ham have had, but I guess none of them really stayed that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, I'm telling you, man. I like the word that he used there, competent.
Yeah.
That's what he is, competent. He's not
so you don't see him going far?
That's the thing. I think he'll have an okay career. I just don't think he'll light up the stars.
No, not career-wise. I mean this season.
Even this season, like, he's playing in the Europa League. Then he has to come back to Premier League. It's a different ball game when you play in Europa Premier League.
I get you.
Up until the traditional top 4 started falling into the Europa League, English teams were getting knocked out in the before quarterfinals of the Europa League. And then top 4 clubs started getting there, and then they started making the final, which made it all of a sudden other teams start taking it seriously in the Premier League. But they still struggle. Last season, Leicester got locked out by Spartak Prague. Racist FC over there from Czech Republic.
Yes.
And that, Tottenham don't make it far when they're in the Europa League. It's the only teams that have made it far in the Europa League. It's Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool. Right? Traditional top 4 over there. So up until English clubs that fight to make Champions League learn to balance European football with trying to make the Champions League, they will always find themselves in the same predicament.
But with West Ham's actual expectations, are they not above their expectations? Like, they can smile at night. That guy can be happy, bro.
No, you're above expectations, but you don't want to get up to a place where you get comfortable and then you drop because you got comfortable. Yes, you achieved above your expectations, but now that's your new expectation.
Okay.
You can't be saying, no, we played above expectation last season, so if we do it again, it's a great season. No. You finish 6th, next season you should be aiming for 5th and at least getting out the group stages of the Europa League. At least, minimum. Otherwise, you have regressed. What did you do with the extra money that you spent, that you got from prize winners from the Premier League? Because the teams that finished below you that were supposed to finish above you outspent you this season and stuff like that. So that's how I look at it. Like, you can't be resting on your laurels, man. You can't be resting on your laurels. It's like, how much longer can Oli get away with finishing top 2 and not winning the trophy? That man's got one more season this season. If he doesn't get
in fact,
win
last season he has to do something.
He has to. He got knocked out the Carling Cup. Now he has to win the FA Cup. Otherwise, it's curtains because it's standards. Like, we here to win things. We're not here to say we did above expectations.
Yeah,
that's what I have to say on that.
All right.
No, sorry.
No slack for West Ham from him.
No, I'm busy just looking at the table basically, and I've just noticed that Norwich City just waste people's time. No, I mean they lost. They've only scored 2 goals and conceded 16th. Like, maybe they should have a rule where, bruh, if you keep going, because they've come every time they go up, they get relegated. They always come like lost. So I think these guys need to actually.
But to them, I think it's due to lack of squad investment. We're still looking at the same players that were in the Premier League last time. How are we expecting different results when they went back to the Championship? It's Todd Cantwell over there, if I'm not mistaken. Still Pookie. The keeper is somebody who's
Tim Krul,
decent Premier League keeper over the years. But who did they buy at the beginning of season to make them more competitive?
Yeah, because I'm looking now. They just bought.
Gone down with their purchases.
They bought Kabak, the guy who used to
Decent.
play for Liverpool, came from Schalke. To tell you the truth, I'm looking at the names in the team. Billy Gilmore was the only.
Who's the manager?
He's a loanee.
Same guy.
Same
Falker.
guy.
Falker.
I think it was, Billy Gilmore, a loan from Chelsea.
And he's a teenager.
Brandon Williams, loan from you guys.
Another teenager.
Other than that, there's no one I can actually look at that,
Norwich need to go back to the drawing board and realize that we're going to make it back to the Premier League again, like they always do. But what we're going to do different to build a team that's competitive when we get to the Premier League. Because maybe the problem this season is they have too many players they have to try and blood in. So when they get that large windfall of money from the Premier League, spend above budget for a bit. And, you pay for players saying, hey, we're going to make it back to the Premier League. We're trying to get the chemistry right now. So that when we're back in the Premier League, like Brentford, that Brentford team is smooth. Whenever they do recruitment, Ollie Watkins left, good Championship striker. They got Ivan Toney. Before Ollie Watkins, I'm sure there was another decent team over there. Striker over there. But when you look at the Brentford team, they have a game plan. Here's how we're going to play. Here's how we recruit in order to play that way, which is why they're sitting on 9 points and above Arsenal in the Premier League table right now.
After 6 games.
After 6 games.
They'll also
But
see some real things.
They'll see real things, but it's after 6 games, lost 1 game. That's a decent record. Like 2 wins, 3 draws, lost 1.
Yeah.
I'll take that for a team that just came out from the Championship. I'll take
And
that.
surprisingly, Watford is normally in this conversation. I'd be grouping Watford with Norwich.
Really?
In terms of the team that always comes up, they'll have impressive moments, but they never really,
Oh, the last time they were there, they were all right in the league. Remember Iheanacho, Delafeu? They had a couple years in the league. I know they've yo-yoed, but they've survived at least. Norwich comes up and goes down.
Oh, with Igalo. Oh, okay, no, I get you.
Gallo, and
No, no,
also
no.
had that English Troy Deeney.
Yeah.
Yes,
they
no,
used to be.
I get you, but I'm saying that there were times like I used to hold them in that manner where when they're going down, they just lay down, like they just give up.
Sure.
But it seems as though this season they've started quite well, collecting 2 wins out of 6 with a draw in there. It's pretty impressive for me. Like
So you're saying they're basically Huddersfield?
we'll
Come
have
up and
to
come
see.
down.
Yeah, no,
With record low points.
I never want to see Huddersfield again. They just
Have you all given your relegation picks actually?
Norwich.
Norwich, of course.
A team from last season that was in the Premier League is going to go down.
Yeah, I'm looking. There's some impressive teams out here.
Let's see this thing.
I hate to say it, but Southampton for me,
Southampton, yeah, I
Looks-
think you're right.
although they've had some decent performances, they've had 4 draws.
Norwich, Southampton, Wolves.
Norwich, Southampton, and Wolves.
I see you. Wolves for me, it's a tough
Wolves,
one.
it depends on how quickly the manager can get that team to
Yeah,
play.
because I was gonna say that
'Cause
team,
when I look at Burnley at 19th over there, that's how they start every season, but
Yes.
somehow always survive.
they will survive. They will start collecting points from teams that we don't expect them to do it. But listen, if God grants me the gift of getting Burnley relegated, I will take it. I will take it. But yeah, obviously, we've seen them survive. But if they could get relegated, that'd be awesome. I won't lie.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Norwich, Brentford, and Newcastle.
Where's Brentford? I think Brentford was.
Now Brentford is.
Brentford has started alright.
Oh, okay.
Let me just see something.
But I think it'll be
Norwich,
Norwich, Brentford.
Brentford, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Interesting with Newcastle. Yeah,
How do
they
you check the
do.
upcoming fixtures over here
That's another team I've forgotten actually.
for a team?
Okay, no, I take that back. Not Southampton. I think Southampton might survive.
Brentford.
So I'd say Norwich. I think I'll join you on Newcastle. And one more team.
Well, Newcastle's at least, they have someone that can put the ball in the net. Callum Wilson.
With Callum Wilson, but he's
Joe
out.
Willock.
Eh?
He has a serious injury.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, depends how that works, because even Joe Willock, he played well when Callum Wilson was on fire. He was the guy who just strut in.
Into the box, the
Yes.
elite strike.
Yeah,
Oh, my opinion on Brentford, it depends on how they play against West Ham. If they can get a result against West Ham, they're staying up.
Is that the next game?
That's their next game. If they can get a result against, because after that, those fixtures are tough. It's Chelsea,
in all fairness,
Leicester.
guys, we do understand this is 6 games, but even though it is 6 games, you get a window into the soul of a team, I guess. But I think let's hold up on talking about some of the fixtures, and let's take a little break and fill up our glasses and make sure we come back, I guess, fresh. But yeah, guys, thank you for joining us for part 1, and hopefully stick around for part 2. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.